Good morning, members of the Austin community. My name is Michael Galindo, and I'm the city manager of Austin. Today we have 4 panelists with us, starting with Parker DiNardo, who is a parent of an Austin team, Stefan Navarro, who is an international student at St. Edward's, Cecile Graftu, who is a French politician, and Jaime Ercoreca, who is a doctor and the director of the Center of Substance Abuse Prevention. Today we're going to be discussing the issue of lowering the legal drinking age, what kind of problems it may cause, if we should do it, and everything that relates to it. The way this is going to work is we're going to have 4 questions total. Each question is going to be asked to 2 panelists, one who is for lowering the legal drinking age, and one who is against, so we can get both sides of the issue. Each panelist will have 90 seconds to answer their question, after which they will be cut off and we will be moving to the next question. After we've asked each question, we'll go ahead and move on to a 5-minute Q&A session in which, once again, our panelists will have 90 seconds to answer their questions. So let's go ahead and get started. First question is for Stefan. If the drinking age were suddenly lowered, do you think this would create an alcohol frenzy? And if so, how can you prevent this?
My name is Stefan. I'm a teen here at St. Edward's. I'm an international student. And I believe that if it was lowered, it would not cause a frenzy, because how I would do it is how they did it back in the 1980s when they raised it to 21. And what they did was they lowered it each by 2 years. Well, they raised it by 2 years. So when it was 18, they raised it 2 years. So that in 2 years, 19-year-olds can drink. And in the next 2 years, 20-year-olds can drink. And then next 2 years, 21 years old can drink. And what that caused is that people got used to it as time went on. And that's what you're going to have to do here. You can lower it day by day, and it will not cause a frenzy. Me coming from an international perspective, I come from a country where the legal drinking age is 18, and there's limited issues with it, and I feel like America has put this out of proportion in a way, and I believe that no, it will not cause a frenzy, and yes.
Okay, thank you. Same question, Jaime. If the drinking age were suddenly lowered, do you think this would create an alcohol frenzy, and how would you prevent this?
Good morning, Mike. As you said, my name is Jaime Ercoreca, and as a doctor and a director of the Center of Substance and Abuse Prevention, I believe that the drinking age will create more people with alcoholism. Why I say alcoholism? Because alcohol frenzy actually it's a mental illness, and it is alcoholism. And we had a research in 2040 that showed that at the age of 21 years old, the risk of developing alcoholism is lower. That's why I think that I against that the drinking age has to be 21 years old. And actually, as a doctor, I want to prevent more illness. That's why I believe that we can't change the drinking age.
Thank you. Next question is for Parker. If the drinking age were to be lowered, what would be the appropriate age?
Hi, my name is Parker. I am against lowering the drinking age. I think that if the drinking age were to be lowered, it should be at least 18, where you are legally considered an adult, where you have all of your own rights, such as going to R-rated movies, purchasing M-rated video games, buying cigarettes even. I think 18 should be the minimum, preferably 21 years old, because that is when your brain is fully developed, and that's when you are most likely to make the best decision for yourself and you can be the most informed possible. So I'm against lowering the drinking age, but if it were to be lowered, 18 should be the absolute minimum.
Okay, same question, Cecile. If the drinking age were to be lowered, what would be the appropriate age?
I think the appropriate age would be 18, because I think it's unrealistic to forbid drinking before being 21, and I think it's more about prevention and education, because to drink doesn't mean you have to get drunk. And we should all learn that we can drink only 1 glass and not 20 glasses. and prevention is the main.
Okay, thank you. Next question is again for Stefan. Do you think allowing 18 to 20-year-olds to drink alcohol in regulated environments such as bars with supervision would decrease unsafe drinking activity in private environments?
Yes, I do agree that if the age was... Wait, please repeat the question.
Do you think allowing 18 to 20-year-olds to drink alcohol in regulated environments like bars would decrease unsafe drinking in private environments?
Decrease unsafe what?
Drinking activity in private environments.
Yes, I do think so. I think that when 18-year-olds as of now, where the law is now, 18-year-olds are forced to binge drink and drink in their private homes where they are unmonitored, usually not by their parents or by any other person who is considered, legal to drink. And with that, they probably don't know what they're doing. They're probably thinking that, I'm so bad I could do this, but that's not what we want. We want them to be able to know that at 18 years old, you are an adult. You are allowed to do all these other laws, all these other things, and there's no issue. So I feel that if it was lowered to 18 and these 18-year-olds who are considered adults were allowed to go to the clubs, allowed to go to the bars, where there are policemen and there are elder people who have been drinking for years and know how to, they would see by experience and see, oh, that old man is not drinking 45 glasses, maybe I shouldn't. I feel like they will be able to learn through that experience and be able to make their own decisions also.
Okay, thank you. Same question for Jaime. Do you think allowing 18 to 20-year-olds to drink in supervised environments like bars would decrease drinking activity in private environments?
I don't think that that's a good idea, mainly because as a doctor, as a person who worked in the United States, the American culture doesn't have the culture to drink. I mean, most of the young person between 18 and 20 years old, when they hang out, use cars. That's very different than other places. For example, in France or in Chile, they used to take the public transportation. I think and I believe that if you allow the people drink, United States is going to have more death, crash accident, and for more homicide and suicide.
Okay, thank you. Next question is for Parker. Would it be beneficial to lower the drinking age if it were to prevent other crimes from occurring, such as possession of fake IDs and drunk driving?
I'm against lowering the drinking age. I would say that by lowering the drinking age, it would actually encourage other crimes to happen. According to the Scholarly Journal of Studies in Alcohol and Drugs, they found that lowering the drinking age would encourage more illicit drug use. Drinking alcohol makes you more likely to do drugs according to this study. And then having minors drinking more alcohol, again, since there's not as much maturity there, I believe it would encourage more incidents of DUI and drinking and driving. So that is why I'm against lowering the drinking age.
Okay, thank you. Once again, same question, Cecile. Would it be beneficial to lower the drinking age if it were to prevent other crimes from occurring?
So I'm Cecile, I'm a French politician, and I'm for the lowering age to younger age. I think it would be beneficial because most of the people who are underage have fake IDs, and they don't see how bad it is to create a fake identity. And according to the drinkingage.procon.org, when you turn to 18 years old, you are considered like an adult because you can buy cigarettes, you can drive, you are considered like an adult. So I do not understand why you can't drink with 18 years old. And it becomes okay to break the rules because everybody does. So people don't see how bad it is.
Okay, thank you. That concludes concludes our panel questions. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out and listening to our discussion. And I'd like to thank our individual panelists, Parker, who is against, Cecile, who is for, Jaime, who is against, and Stefan, who is against as well, or for. Sorry. We'll go ahead and move on to the Q&A session now, which once again, we'll have 90 seconds to answer the questions. So I'll go ahead and open up the floor to questions.
Why should the drinking age be lowered to 18? Why not 19 or 20?
Okay, I'll go ahead and direct that question to Stefan. Why change the minimum age to 18 and not 19 or 20?
Change the minimum wage to 18. One, because at 18 you're considered an adult. Two, you're able to do all other things, as in buy cigarettes. You're able to go and fight for the military and die for your country. You're able to drive your cars. You're able to sign leases and contracts. You're able to get married. But you can't have a beer. And that's quite unrealistic.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions?
Kind of along the same lines. Since I'm 18 and I'm legally considered an adult and I'm free to make my own decisions, why shouldn't I be able to indulge in what I want at this time?
Okay, I'll direct that question towards Parker. Since at 18, he's legally considered an adult, why can't he indulge at what he likes to at this time?
Even though at 18 you were legally considered an adult, studies show that your brain is not fully developed until you're 21 years old. That being said, I believe that you are not mature enough to make a fully informed decision in terms of drinking. You might be more inclined to go drink and drive, or drink to the point that you'll actually have something very bad happen to yourself. So that's why I think that it's not going to be beneficial to lower the drinking age even if you're 18 and considered an adult.
Thank you. Any more questions?
So is alcohol considered a gateway drug?
Okay, I'll direct that question towards Jaime. Would you consider alcohol a gateway drug?
I consider alcohol as a way to get sick, and that's why I believe that the drinking age has to be 21, especially because people here in the United States doesn't have the education and the preparation to change today 1 year or 4 years the drinking age in the United States.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I guess like even when you're 18, you can like make the decision to go to war. Like we have more chances of dying there. So I guess then why is it more rational to say that because your brain is not fully developed that you can't drink when you can actually go to war and you have the rational decision to go to war and be drafted and such?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so I guess like I just don't understand like the concept of saying that your brain isn't fully developed when you have the rational and you're like rationally enough to like go to war and stuff.
I'll direct that question towards Parker once again. She said that if your brain is, or if you're mature enough to go to war, why shouldn't you be able to go ahead and drink on your own discretion?
I think that if you're old enough to go to war, but you're not allowed to drink, I think that's justifiable. If you were to go off into war and say be killed in combat, that affects yourself, maybe your family, but nobody is going to receive any physical harm from that sort of incident happening. But if you were drinking, you might be more inclined for drinking and driving or other drugs. There's statistics that show that neighborhoods around bars definitely have higher instances of DUI accidents as well as violence related. So I think that it's problematic because alcohol is going to affect other people around you that didn't necessarily consent to that when you signed your papers to go off and fight for your country.
Okay, thank you. That will conclude our Q&A session as well as our panel. So I'd like to thank everybody once again for coming.